There's just a spirit about you that it's such a beautiful art form in which you can implement strategy in order to subdue another individual. And I really feel like that's in wrestling and UFC, we collaborate in that way. As traditional job descriptions become obsolete, people will need to collaborate in new ways with increasingly intelligent machines. We collaborate on everything. I'm involved in the writing and pre-production. There's a whole bunch of people who keep in touch at every step about everything. I would love to collaborate with Chance the Rapper. I love his lyrics and his sound and everything. There is no time and space in the digital world. People chat and collaborate through social networks. Cultural icons garner millions of fans online in locations they have often never been themselves. The boundary between public and private life is now everyone's business. Whether it's a song that might deviate from an artist's usual sound or even if it's still very much in their world, I think the more people opening themselves up creatively to collaborate with others, the better. It helps to be able to be alone. 'Cause writing is done alone, unless you collaborate, but I don't do that. Ask my ex-wife. Music, opera particularly, is a process which is endurable or successful only if it is achieved by people who love to collaborate. Collaboration is important not just because it's a better way to learn. The spirit of collaboration is penetrating every institution and all of our lives. So learning to collaborate is part of equipping yourself for effectiveness, problem-solving, innovation and lifelong learning in an ever-changing networked economy. I am tremendously excited to introduce a unique Metal Gear Solid experience to a new audience of gamers as well as collaborate with my mentor in game design, Mr. Miyamoto, on Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes for Nintendo GameCube. The reason I collaborate with Louis Vuitton is that Louis Vuitton is #1 in the world, and I am honored to work with them. A sign that a peace association is going adrift is its exclusion of other political parties, with whom it could collaborate effectively on most of the problems besetting the cause of peace. I know right now she has no idea who I am, but I'd like to collaborate with Enya one day. Of course I'd love to work with Jay-Z, maybe even Phil Collins. I love his voice. There's always a question of duration, there's a question of who the orchestra is. No one is free to write what you want, you collaborate on a film score, and one of the good things is that someone else's work is motivating you. I'm so motivated to collaborate with people and help them realize the kind of collective vision. What you want to do is put people in a position where they feel connected enough to you that they're willing to collaborate with you. They're willing to show you the things that they were scared to tell you about before. Acting isn't a singular profession, it is a collaborate profession. We collaborate together. We work with other people. We work by ourselves. One of the things that I think makes me successful is the way in which I collaborate with others. In my opinion, nothing great is ever the product of one mind. It's always a consequence of some sort of self-critical collaboration. My mother is an artist, and I have a strong visual sense. I almost always choose the cover art for my books. I've learned that the more I collaborate, like by having someone do a soundtrack to one of my books, the more I see my own work differently. Philanthropy is all about sharing. If there's an opportunity to collaborate, we will. Collaborating just for finance is pointless. It has to be like a business collaboration. Software innovation, like almost every other kind of innovation, requires the ability to collaborate and share ideas with other people, and to sit down and talk with customers and get their feedback and understand their needs. For the film Sat Kun Mof, which was adapted from my story, Susanna's Seven Husbands, I did collaborate on the screenplay. I even took a small role in the film, of a priest. The directors I respect are the ones who have a collaborative attitude, who collaborate with actors. As we thought about how to help portfolio companies grow and scale while simultaneously supporting corporate discovery and experimentation, it became clear that we would need to collaborate with a technology infrastructure provider like AWS to help us build a platform for experimentation. I would love to learn to play something so I don't have to rely on someone to collaborate with. The standards of the international community manifest firmness. Iran has no need for long-range missiles or to collaborate with terrorist organizations all over the world. I see the Beijing National Stadium as an architectural project. I accepted Herzog and de Meuron's invitation to collaborate on the design, and our proposal won the competition. From beginning to end, I stayed with the project. I am committed to fostering relationships between a city and its architecture. The only thing that permits human beings to collaborate with one another in a truly open-ended way is their willingness to have their beliefs modified by new facts. Only openness to evidence and argument will secure a common world for us. We will not only use the machines for their intelligence, we will also collaborate with them in ways that we cannot even imagine. Geniuses come in many shapes and colors, and they often run in packs. If you can find one, it may lead you to others. Collaborate with geniuses. Send them your spells. Look carefully at theirs. What could you do together? Combination is creation. Our users are trapeze artists, high school football coaches. I got cornered by a couple of theoretical physicists who said Dropbox lets them collaborate across the world and share their experiments' results. They were raving about how it's driving their research. As co-chair of the Iraqi Women's Caucus in the House, I've enjoyed the opportunity to collaborate with and hear from Iraqi women elected to serve in the new National Assembly. When it all boils down, it's about embracing each other's stories and maybe even finding that synergy to collaborate for the common good. We can collaborate with a Netscape employee or partner who's halfway around the world. We can distribute information and software to customers and shareholders, and get their feedback. I would collaborate with James Franco as a rapper any day. It's great that people get together and collaborate, talk about the facts and the analysis, all in the interest of having a great financial system. To get important work done, most leaders organize people into teams. They believe that when people collaborate toward a common goal, great things can happen. Yet in reality, the whole is often much less than the sum of the parts. In the case of The Loved One, I was hired to collaborate on an updated version of the book. This was all very new to me and I did not want to ruin his film, so we worked hard on that basis of confidence that is needed to collaborate comfortably. I wanted to collaborate with someone, but it had to be someone I could work with and who wouldn't disrespect my past. My time at Pop has been a transformative experience that I am extremely proud of. It has afforded me the chance to collaborate with some of the greatest creative minds in the world, and I'm thankful to Ashley Heath and Bauer Media for the opportunity. I like the feeling of making things. It's very, very rewarding. And filmmaking is that type of experience, where you're forced to collaborate with so many people. You're involved in the beginning to end, you're involved with so many elements, and when it's done, you're like, I made this movie. I think TV is much more the writer's medium and film is about the director and their vision and how you can collaborate with them and see that through to the end. They are so different. What is it about animation, graphics, illustrations, that create meaning? And this is an important question to ask and answer because the more we understand how the brain creates meaning, the better we can communicate, and, I also think, the better we can think and collaborate together. I'd love to work with some of the people I've remixed for, Ed Sheeran or Chris Martin or The Weeknd. But it's not just big names like these guys that I want to collaborate with. But I'm blessed to work with great people. I collaborate with brilliant stylists both here and in Paris. I work with a great design team. I really allow everyone to bring their ideas. I almost rely on them to inspire me. I definitely have plans to do more collaboration albums in the future. I'm a big fan of Common. I'm a big fan of Scarface. I'm a big fan of so many people, from Jeezy to, well, there are a lot of people's music that I respect. I don't know who I will collaborate with, but there's a great chance of something happening. I view the whole thing as a collaboration. As an actor, I always found that to be the most freeing thing, when the director would collaborate with you, so that together you'd come up with something exponentially better. Copiers do not collaborate. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.